Okay. Well, how are y'all tonight?
We're great. Fine.
Good. Well, y'all had fair food yet? Yeah? Yeah. Well, just wanted to talk to you tonight about a form of recycling. How many of you recycle at home? So there's, what way do you recycle?
I put stuff from my garbage, my vegetables, and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
use it to compost and take it
Yeah.
away.
So one way of recycling would be like cans and papers and plastic. So composting is a form of recycling. So I just brought a few things from my kitchen sink. So you can see it's kind of cloudy, but you can see there's eggshells, banana peeling, strawberries, cucumbers, squash, tomatoes, coffee grounds with the filter because that will decompose as well. Just different things in there. I think there's some lime in there, lemons, so forth. So I just take all of this when it gets full. I have a bigger container in my kitchen, and I take that out to my compost bin, which is a big, it's like a Rubbermaid container. So I just put that in there. And then I can collect other things out of my yard to put in there. So I brought some things like this is, of course, we all have this at our house. Some paper towel holders. I just tear that up and put in there. And then of course, grass clippings are going to be some things that you get out of your yard. You can put that in there. I also shred newspaper. You want to make sure that it's the black and white paper. You can't put the slick colored paper in there. So I just shred that up and layer that in there as well. And you see I have recycled containers as well. So, and then leaves, of course, just different things that you can put in there and layer. So when I get my container full, of course you have to water it and you have to turn it, but when I get my container full, mine is where I can just pick it up and move it and start a new pile. So I can turn this one over here. I've got like 4 working right now. So,
What do you not put in there?
well, you would not want to put, like, if you had a salad for dinner and you had some left over you didn't want, and it had dressing on there, you wouldn't put that in there because it had dressing. You wouldn't put meat in there. I don't know what no bones, no.
Nothing greasy.
Nothing greasy. Yeah, you wouldn't put leftover meat in there or anything like that. It really needs to be like raw vegetables or fruits.
About, onions, the skin on it.
Yeah, I have onions. Actually, there's some onions in there as well. And anything like, I've had some tomatoes go bad that I've picked, so I just put that in there too. And so this is the one that's actually cooking right now, that's in the process. I'm going to take the top off, and you can see there's some pieces of leaves. There's eggshell that's not completely decomposed yet, but you can see it's still kind of chunky and it's real dark. And there's leaves in there too, and still some paper. So that one is not ready yet. And then when it gets finished, this is your finished product. It looks like that.
So about how long does it take in your big barrel, turning it over, and how often would you want to water it?
Well, I water it about every 2 weeks, but if it's going to rain, I take the top off of mine. So I just let it get rain naturally, you know, and don't have to water it. But I don't really know exactly how long it takes because I have, like I said, I have 4 different piles going right now, and all 4 of those will go back into my vegetable garden at the beginning of next year. So I'll be broken down.
How
But
often do you turn it?
when I think of it, I mean, I don't have a set time, you know, that I do, but you know, about every couple weeks and watering it. You just want to, but so this actually cost me $0 to purchase. I mean, so everything out of my yard and my kitchen, and then I ended up with this. So I have free soil to put back in my garden, and there's no chemicals, so it's all natural, organic that came directly out of everything that I put together. So that's a good thing too. I know what's in here, rather than when I purchase it at a local store, you don't know exactly what you're getting, but this cost me nothing.
And you kept it out of the landfill.
And I kept it out of the landfill, exactly right. Yeah. So, and you always want to keep it in a container of some sort, contained, where you won't have animals get in there, because they will come in and get in there if you don't have it together there. So, do y'all have any more questions?
So now, your big, if you have one container, your big rubber thing, how far would you spread that? How far would it go?
Well, my container is about this tall, but by the time it gets completely broken down, it's probably less than half of that. So it won't, you know, it's not a whole lot. I do have another container it's a turn one. It's up on a pedestal and it turns, rotates. So I have 2 of those, but then I have 2 piles that I've actually taken out of those, and they're on the ground. So they're at a point where animals will not get in there, because there's nothing they would be interested in at that point. So
They're basically ready to go in your garden.
they will be by
Okay.
spring. They're not right now, because I've been adding a lot of. Also, I take, like, if I take clippings out of my flower beds, you know, like the tops of your irises, that type thing, something green, then I'll take that and put in there. You do not want to put weeds in there. Something that will have seeds, you know, of your flowers, where it would actually put it in your garden, your vegetable garden, because mine goes in my vegetable garden, strictly vegetables. So I don't want flowers, seeds coming up in my vegetable garden.
Do you ever have tomato seeds that come up in?
Yes, I have had tomato seeds come up in there, but they're not anything that you would use. Actually, the plants, you wouldn't use those to plant in your garden. But yes, I have. I actually have sometimes, because my container has little vents in the bottom. Sometimes I see tomatoes coming out of the vent, out the side of the vent. But I enjoy doing that, because I live out in the country, but people do it in town, in the city. So, I mean, you can do it anywhere as long as you keep it contained where animals don't get in there, or where something can strow it, you know. But I enjoy doing that. And it's something I can do with all my scraps where, like you said, it doesn't go in the landfill or down my garbage disposal. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
My book is named The Chocolate Touch. The thing I like about this book is because it tells about a boy who gets a chocolate. Everything you touch turns to chocolate. It's a really good book. Amazing.
If we want to keep the blue in the sky, the green in the trees, we better care for the air we breathe. That it would truly be a breath of fresh air when we all can see forever through the air we breathe. So let's really try to be more aware of what we can do to clean up the air we all share. So let's you and me roll up our sleeves. Let's do all we can and care for the air we breathe.